Welcome to Straight Shot Politics. Each episode will bring you in-depth discussion with experts, community leaders, and analysts who will share their insights, experiences, and predictions. From local elections to global diplomacy, we'll provide you with the tools and perspectives you'll need to navigate today's real-world landscape.
Welcome to Straight Shot Politics. I'm Lisa Chafee. I'm here with my work husband, Jim Leeser, again. We're continuing our conversation with comedian, writer, Michael Loftus. We're having so much fun in studio, we had to do 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Right?
the first segment was just phenomenal, so we had to keep him around for another half
It
hour.
was
hour, 45
podcastus
minutes.
interruptus. So
Yeah.
now we have to go round 2. We're hydrated.
There we go.
We're hydrated. We're stretched out. We're limbered.
Got
we're
us a
not gonna pull a
drink.
muscle. Yeah, that's great. What do you have in there, guy?
I'm not sure what this is. What is this bourbon? It's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
It's a bourbon.
It's
It's
a
a bourbon. It's a whiskey. It's a dirty
It's a
birdie
man's drink.
All right,
That is
so
right.
speaking of whiskey,
Yes.
John Rich, Redneck Riviera.
I love this guy. So we're doing our fundraiser, you and I. It's going to
Yes.
be insane in the membrane out at the Villa Milano, April 23rd.
Right.
People can go to eventbrite.com and get tickets. So I'm I want to get things done. Like I don't want to sit around and it's fun to sit around and complain. I complain on stage. People laugh. We all have a good time, and then we go home. But like we also have to do shit. Right. And this is what I like about John Rich. I did a fundraiser at his house in Nashville. Right. And so, John, God bless these freaking rednecks. Right. Hillbillies.
Right.
Amen.
Hillbillies are going to save America again.
Yep.
Like I did a whole thing on the History Channel about how hillbillies are responsible for America. But anyway, so when these big banks were debanking people, like, okay, we don't like what you said on social media. You no longer have a bank account with us.
Right.
That's a terrifying notion. John Rich and my buddy Larry Elder and a couple of other guys, they got together and they started Old Glory Bank. And they're like, okay, you can bank with us. That's the way. That is the way. And then John Rich has his whiskey, which I'm trying to remember the name of the whiskey, but the proceeds from that go to Folds of Honor.
Yeah.
That is the way. So if you're, let's give John Rich.
It's Redneck Riviera, I do believe.
It might be Redneck Riviera, but he and I did a show. We did a thing together
We have technology.
for Fox Nation, and listen. He's a great singer-songwriter.
Yes.
He's an amazing performer. He's just a good dude. And it's like, okay, so these big whiskey manufacturers, they're going woke, DEI, blah, blah, all that crap. I'm going to start my own. And I love that because
Awesome.
that's where I am with that show tonight in Studio TST. So I just want to get together with as many motivated people who know how to have a good time, but they also know how to get shit done and make things happen.
Right.
Because too many people are just sitting back and complaining, and that's great, and in the 70s and in the 80s and in the 90s, the right dominates talk radio, and look, Fox News is like, and as everybody's sitting around on their hands going, boy, this is crazy. Look what they're doing here. The world is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
So it's great. So we're doing shows. We're gonna do that show tonight, and it's gonna be live from the Redneck Riviera, and we're gonna be taping that at the end of May. And this is the first of many shows. So we are we have our home base in New York at the America First Warehouse, and now we're doing shows with John, and it's great. It's like an old school variety show. There's going to be sketch comedy. There's going to be stand-up comedy. There's going to be great singers and songwriters, the best and brightest that Nashville has to offer. And I could not be more excited about it.
Well, like you said, we talk about we should boycott this company, boycott that company, the Bud Light debacle. People are boycotting. Some people are boycotting Disney. Okay, what are you going to do with that money that you're saving? How about let's support
Yes.
people that share your values?
Yes.
It is time to put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
Instead of just saying I'm boycotting them, okay, what are you going to do? Let's pick a conservative company that we put money in and
Right,
back.
right, and that's like where I want to. And then we were talking about this in the previous podcast as well. Like Angel Studios,
Yes.
that's fantastic. More power to them. Keep going. But I want, Studio TST is going to be more of a traditional network in
Right.
terms of there's going to be some stuff that's like raunchy and off the chain, and there's going to be other stuff that's like we're gonna have everything, and that's what I really try to do with my website, theloftusparty.com. It's just
Love it.
I want a bigger tent.
Yes.
Like if you sit me down, I really feel like you could put me in a party scenario with anybody in Hollywood, literally anybody in Hollywood, and within 2 hours, I'll have them on our side.
Yeah.
Seriously, like
I believe
it's
it.
like it's got to be Liberty. Ooh, we got a new post up there. There's my gaslighting post. It's wonderful. So it's a big tent. The weekend memes. My buddy always posts the best week of memes. We just found out Mitch McConnell is stepping down, so I'm
Right.
sure he's talking
Yep.
about that. And so
So talking about your routines, your stand-up routines. So you obviously are a history buff.
yes,
It's my favorite clip, and if you go to eventbrite.com to purchase the tickets, they'll see this clip of you talking about Andrew Jackson.
yes.
And oh my God, it's so hilarious.
That was the clip that really changed a lot of stuff for me because I'd been writing on TV shows and still doing stand-up, and then I found out the true story about the national anthem, Andrew Jackson, the Battle of New Orleans. The War of 1812 is the war that nobody talks about.
Exactly.
And you're like, why is that? Why is that? And I discovered, oh yes, the British accent. You must do that. It's all.
Oh yeah, you do it very well.
But it's like the War of 1812 is the one where the British people, they could not believe that they lost this country to a group of hillbillies. I mean, they didn't even have a proper army. What are they? They're wearing dead squirrels for hats. My God in heaven, they don't even have uniforms. For the love of God. So yeah, they came back and they wanted to. It was the Revolutionary War Part 2.
Right.
And nobody like discusses this. I think because I don't. Do we feel bad? Do we feel guilty? But it was like. The War of 1812. They came. They burned D.C. to the ground.
Yeah.
It was like the worst attack ever. And then God sent a hurricane and wiped the British army off the face of D.C. because God loves us more than the British. It's in the Bible. Look it up. And then of course the British were going to come
the
up.
book of Michael Loftus.
Yeah, right. And then the British were going to attack New Orleans. New Orleans, which you have to say it right. Nolans.
Nolans, yeah.
Nolans.
Nolans.
Like you're choking on a peanut. Nolans. Yeah, that's where I want to go for my diction lessons is from a drunk Cajun. It's Nolans and also Louisville.
Okay. So I grew up in Kentucky.
Yes.
So that's my sort. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville.
It's
It's
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah,
Louisville.
it sounds like a dog that has something treed. Louisville. Where's he going, boy? Louisville. Old Blue can smell him. I'd like to get someone from Nolans against someone from Louisville on the Wheel of Fortune on the same day.
Oh my God,
That'd be a long
hilarious.
day of taping. I'd like to buy a. So
it's like not oil. It's oil.
yeah, right. Oh.
Oh,
So I did this whole thing about Andrew Jackson and going down and how he got an army together on his way down to New Orleans just because he hated the British so much.
Yep.
He's just like, you get a hillbilly that pissed off, he's like, I'll go down, I'll do it myself. I don't give a damn. I'll kill them all. And it's a really cool story because it was Andrew Jackson, a bunch of hillbillies, and some pirates that were hanging out in the swamp doing pirate stuff. It's an all-man crew, and let's just go in the swamp and make each other comfortable.
don't ask, don't tell.
Right? That was the original Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And then some freed black dudes who volunteered for the army.
Right.
And Andrew Jackson is like, hey, you black guys, you want to help defend this nation? And they're like, do we get to kill white people? And he's like, yeah. And he handed them a gun. And bang, bang, bang. Okay, you have to wait. They'll be wearing red jackets. You go in. You have to, just the ones in the red jackets. But they defended New Orleans and they fought dirty. And it's this wonderful story. And I would do it on stage. and the audiences were just blown away and loved it, and the History Channel saw it, and they're like, we want you to do a show, and that opened up everything, all these doors. Like for somebody to go on stage and talk about how they loved the country, they loved Andrew Jackson, and it was just like mind-boggling to people. And like in LA, they were just like, wow. And I would have like other comedians come up to me and be like, hey, are you they would like whisper, like a speakeasy back in the 1920s. Hey, are you a Republican? And I'm like, yeah, dude. And they're like, me too. Don't tell anybody. It's just like, there was a secret society in Los Angeles, a secret society that was started by people in the entertainment business. So we could just go and hang out. And I got invited to one of their little secret meetings. It was called Friends of Abe. Friends of Abe. Abe as in Abraham Lincoln. And you would go to these meetings, and you're like, wow, there's the guy who played, there was like Tonto from the Lone Rangers in there, and all these other like celebrities. And it's like, it was just really wild. And then the whole thing got like infiltrated by the left, and everybody was so worried about being outed and all this stuff that the whole thing kind of like dissolved.
Well, yeah,
it's like we couldn't even have a secret society.
Well, you would have had more McCarthy hearings, right? I mean,
oh, it's people. This was like people were getting canceled.
Yeah,
like you're done. You're done as a conservative in Hollywood.
Yep,
you're done. Like at one point on the George Lopez show, this was another. I forget what had just happened. It was like Desert Storm. It was one of those friggin' many wars we had in the desert. And once again, one of my buddies said something. It was very funny, but it was also very pro-America, you know. And then one of the producers, who will remain nameless, gets up, like she literally like stands up and puts her fists on the desk and leans over. And she goes, I can't believe, and I had laughed like super loud. He said this thing that was like pro George Bush, and I was like, wah! You know, I crack up, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm the only person who laughed, and it got awkward. And this producer stands up, hands on the desks, and goes, I cannot believe we have conservatives on the writing staff. And then I'm like, oh, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, oh, that's hilarious, right? She's doing a bit. She's doing a bit where she's the big time liberal that hates, and man, not joking.
Oh, wow.
Not joking. So after that, I'm like, okay, I better watch what I say and what I laugh at, because I like the job.
I have a dear friend who
have a friend who's a deer.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Nice and cuddly. He happens to be gay. And he told me, I know, shocking. He said it was harder for me to come out as a Republican than it was for me to come out as gay.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's from California.
Yeah. Oh, there's a whole like gay mafia.
Yeah.
In LA.
Oh, believe it.
Like there's a gay mafia. There's like a Christian mafia. You get these little groups of people together, but there's no conservative mafia. Sadly.
Maybe we need to start one.
That is what we need to do.
There we go.
See, but here's the thing, and this is what I love about this conversation. Like, you're like, okay, my friend who's gay and works in LA, it's harder to come out as a gay than. So that's the conversation that needs to, like, I think everyone on the right is like that. Like, we all have friends who are living. We don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do in your private life, as long as you're not involving children and everybody's consensual about
Animals.
it. Right. Because like, listen, like Michael Jackson had that monkey. He had Bubbles, and if they would have taught that monkey sign language, I think we would have had an intervention. You know,
long ago.
Because Bubbles' first 3 sign language words are "He's fucking me."
Yep. All right. So, talking about young people in the gay community, in the, I love this, the LGBTQA salad, alphabet salad.
Right.
Did they add anything new this week?
You know, I can't keep up with it, dude.
They did. They well, no, intersectional's always been in there.
Yep.
But they're really making a move for this minor attracted people.
Yes.
And it was like, what was her? Kate, she's in government. She's
in Kentucky. It was a senator or state rep from Kentucky that they want the government to pay for dolls for the minor attracted people to have, in hopes that they would just have sex with those dolls instead of going after children.
And this is just we cannot go there.
No.
And this is one thing. The other thing, like there's talk about things that get you out of bed and get your feet on the floor and get you moving and motivated. What they're doing to kids, is it's beyond horrific.
Yeah,
it's beyond horrific. And if you know, like, I'd be living in LA, doing a show at like the Hermosa Beach Comedy and Magic or blah blah blah, driving home, and I would listen to Loveline. Dr. Drew.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla had this show back in the day, and and it's great. You're in traffic in Los Angeles, like, oh great, this'll kill an hour, as I listen. And Dr. Drew had this uncanny. They would have a caller in, and and it'd be some girl, and my boyfriend likes it when And Dr. Drew goes, okay, so how old were you when you were molested? I wasn't molested. And some girl using a little baby voice, and without fail, something happened to that caller. Any girl who uses that little EB baby voice, something happened. Something untoward. There's like imagine a switch in your brain. This is how Dr. Drew described it, and this is a matter of like public knowledge in child psychology. Once you introduce an idea like that into a child's brain, once you just introduce things of a sexual nature, you have flipped a switch that can never get unflipped. Yep. Everyone knows this. Like this is like some science is settled shit. And so anybody who's introducing this kind of, we want to talk about how you identify sexually, how we want to talk about your genitals to a child, you're a criminal and you need to be in jail.
100%.
And there is no if, ands, or buts, and we need to get aggressive on this.
Yes.
It's one thing to go, okay, our kids are stupid, and kids in Chicago can't do grade level math and they can't frickin' read. That's an epic failure that can wait. But right now, and they are ruining an entire generation. And this is the generation after the kids who were just told you can't attend school because COVID.
Right.
So they're just it's terrifying, and like we have to really ridicule and get anyone out of office and any position of power that is in any way, shape, or form. And God bless Ron DeSantis. DeSantis came out with that the bill down in Florida. And here's the thing: the other was like they had those signs really quick, right? Ron DeSantis is like, we don't think you should be talking about sex around little kids, and they instantly had pre-printed signs. Don't say gay. I'm out. They had a whole freaking PR campaign ready to go. That was eerily fast.
Well, and this is an issue that's dear to my heart. Here in Ohio, we just passed the SAFE Act bill, which took a veto override of the governor to get passed. So it makes it illegal for doctors to give the puberty blockers or to perform surgeries on minors for the purpose of transgender, right? I never in my life, I'm 52 years old, would have imagined
we would 30, darling.
Oh, well, thank you. You're my hero for the day. I have, the Facebook.
Just for the day?
Yeah, just for the day. Never in my life I would have imagined that we'd have to get legislation passed to prevent this.
I was on a radio station here in Columbus. We were talking about this because they were waiting to see how frickin' what's the guy, DeWine?
DeWine.
I'm new to the area. Yeah. But how was that not an instant decision?
Okay, so here's what...
How was that? I don't give a flying F what he says or how he tap dances around it. This was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
This was a no-brainer. And to go, well, the science of blah, blah. Dude, go. Get out of the way.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So one of the things, and I actually just got to speak at a local high school in the polyrag class, and this is one of the topics we talked about is pronouns. It was awesome. Some very thought-provoking questions came out of them, but there was a couple of kids that, what's wrong with using someone's preferred pronouns? And the thing that I come back to, I said, if you ask me politely, if your name is Billy and you tell me you want me to call you Sally, okay, out of respect, I can do that. But if you tell me I have to, you're infringing on my First Amendment rights.
You are a Central Ohio Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson up in Canada, that was his whole issue to begin with.
Yeah.
That's what he said. That's what made him famous back in the day. You can't tell me that. I'm from Canada. Hey? What? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Listen, you go to clean your room.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson was way out in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
The instant you tell me I have to do it, now we got an issue.
Exactly.
Now we got an issue.
And now we've got teachers who are being fired because they refuse to use the preferred pronouns. And you know what? Okay, so when you use a pronoun, this is what gets me. Usually, you're not referring to somebody by their pronoun in front of them. It's when they leave the room. Oh, he did this or she said that.
Yeah.
So you're not even going to know.
Right. It's a power trip. The whole thing is a power trip.
And you see all these YouTube videos of people trans identified in restaurants melting down because they were misgendered, and you're looking at them and it looks just like a man in a dress.
We did a cartoon on that show tonight called Woke Ma'am.
Yeah.
And it's the Justice League, and it's like the old school Justice League, and Superman has been fired, and they have to hire a new superhero, and it's Woke Ma'am, and they keep thinking it's a dude. Yeah, there's Woke Ma'am. That's Woke Ma'am 3 with special guest star Dylan Muldicky.
Mulvaney, yeah.
And
Well,
here's the deal with me with the trans people.
Yeah.
You got to fool me, okay? Lazy Bones Jones. You got all these dudes like with beards just slapping on a dress. My name's Linda. No, it's not. Your name is Jerry. Right? You have to try to trick me. If you're gonna say that you're a woman, I want to be tricked. I want to see some boobies. Like you got to have the curves. But it's just like for like lazy people who aren't interesting.
Yeah.
You know, they have no skills, they have no hobbies, so they just go, "I'm trans. You got to call me Diane." No, I'm not.
No.
I don't have to call you Diane at all.
Well, the scary thing is what's happening in the military with that. So there was just, Jim, I think you said it was Air Force leader, and I'm looking at the video, and it's obviously a man in uniform with a little bit of makeup on and nice dangly little earrings that maybe grandma would have wore, and telling everybody we just have to, we have to embrace this. And I'm like,
Yes.
our enemies are laughing at us.
You know what? This is going to buy us some time as we they discovered in Russia many years ago that you can save a lot of money. You don't have to fight a war as long as you can manipulate information and manipulate elections. So you can save a lot of money and a lot of resources. And it's like with China, it's like, okay, just keep feeding them the woke stuff, keep feeding them all of it. They will implode. They will just completely implode, and then you just walk in and take it over. It's all completely. They keep saying like in the military that like diversity. It's a man dressed up as a woman and saying diversity is a force multiplier. That's a force multiplier. So is there a mathematical formula? Like if a soldier tucks his wiener between his legs and says, "Call me Diane," does his bullets, are they more accurate? Is the explosion bigger? Like
Does his bullets count as two?
Right? Right? No, that was a trans grenade. I don't even understand.
It kills twice.
Yeah. Oh, the UFC woke SmackDown. We're over here at Studio TST. You're behind the looking glass at some stuff. Yeah, we made fun of the whole. We did like a Senate hearing where it was like someone explaining it's a force multiplier, and our bullets go a little bit better, and the explosions are a little bit bigger. They keep saying this ridiculous shit, and like no one's calling them on it.
Mm-mm.
Like what you literally, and it's like that absolute criminal who works for the Biden. It's another like guy saying that he's a woman. The health secretary.
Yeah, the Health and Human Services.
Who from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Who was like, we need to put the COVID people in with the old people. You know, got his mom out of there because he knew it was going to be just a freaking absolute shit show of death. So that dude makes sure his mom gets out and then kills everybody else's parents. And it's like, how are you not? It was like I was living in New York when Cuomo did that. And I'm like, how is this guy not in jail?
Yeah.
In jail. It's so frustrating.
He said Biden criminal, works for Biden criminal. I immediately went to Hunter.
Right?
Yeah. Well, except he doesn't actually work there. He just lives there, living off of daddy. But
it's a good gig if you can get it.
Right.
You know who's insanely wealthy? Hillary Clinton's kid, Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
And all she does is she's on 4 different boards.
I
And-
think she
and-
wrote a children's book, though, too.
Okay,
she did
so at one point she made so much money on this one board that she had to publicly disclose because the board bought stock, and it was just an insane. It's literally, it's like we're living in the days of like feudal England.
Right.
And it's like we're all supposed to be happy little idiots running around as like these elites just make these decisions for us and don't abide by them. You all must stay home. You must stay home and you must mask up and don't have dinner with your friends. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go to the French Laundry with my friends and have an exorbitant dinner, rack up a huge bill. But if you show up, you're going to go to jail. Ooh, excuse me, Nancy Pelosi's going to go get her hair done. They couldn't be more bold with this crap. And it's just terrifying that Americans have put up with it for as long as we have.
Well,
It's unbelievable.
It is. What's funny is to me is I hear the liberals saying, well, we're sick and tired of old, rich, white people running this country. That's why we don't want Trump. And I'm thinking, have you seen Biden lately?
Right? Yes. It's like, and here's the deal. You cannot fight. I hope everyone, as entertained as we all are by Ben Shapiro and is like, facts don't care about your feelings. Well, guess what? Feelings don't care about facts.
That's true.
Like these people have zero shame. They have there's no lie they won't tell.
Yep.
Like, my God in heaven, with the Trump-Russia collusion that we all know now, there was nothing to it, and that was Brennan from the CIA. Biden was in on those meetings. Obama was in on those meetings. It was all completely fabricated to try to make sure Trump did not get in the White House.
Yep.
Like, we know that. And so the New York Times, USA Today, CNN, Twitter, Facebook, all these social media companies, all these mass media outlets, they were part of it. They never even said they were sorry. They just move on to the next one. So listen, this is a pop culture battle.
Yeah.
Like, we can have the facts to back us up, but we got to circle the wagons. It's about pop culture, and it's about emotional arguments.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, like, they were insanely close to putting people in camps during the lockdown.
Well, they did in Australia.
Right? So, like, they keep going, oh, the right, you guys are a threat to democracy. Oh, hold on. Who's building the camps? Who's rounding up journalists?
I wholeheartedly believe if it wasn't for the Second Amendment of the Constitution, they would have tried that crap here that they tried over there in locking us up.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank God
For the
that we
Second
have,
Amendment.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
So we're almost out of time. So,
Oh, my goodness.
let's forecast.
Wait a minute. We're
what-
almost out of time.
Yeah.
It goes fast with me.
Michael, will you please come back?
Of course I will.
We would love to have you back.
Well,
and-
he is going to be back on
Oh,
April
yeah.
23rd.
That's right.
Live and in person at the Villa Milano.
She slips in that that was once again I
see.
doff my entertainment cap to you the way you slid in that promo. I almost said
I'm just inviting you back personally, and she's going after the show. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. April 23rd is going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Get your
Lot of
tickets.
fun.
Come on out. Have a good time.
But let's put our prediction cap on.
Okay.
So November, I don't know the exact date. So the second Tuesday in November,
Yeah.
we're going to have the next presidential election.
Right.
Knock on wood, Trump is going to win.
Yes.
So what are we going to see? How many people are we going to see down on their knees screaming the next day
That's
and crying?
that's really the only reason.
November
I don't know.
12th.
Hopefully,
November 12th, yeah.
hopefully a ton. Hopefully a ton.
Yeah.
I'm so concerned about this one.
I am too.
I
Actually. In all seriousness,
really
I
am.
am too.
I was speaking with a lawyer. I was doing an event in Palm Springs a few months ago, and this was the lawyer who fought the vax, the mandate, the
Yeah.
vax mandate. He won that case in the Supreme Court, and I'm like, where is all this going? Because it seems like I'll try to make this as quick as I can. With Trump, with every executive order Trump put out when he started in 2016, there was instantly a lawsuit. There was instantly a lawsuit from the left. We're going to sue you on this grounds. And then, as it turns out, that came from inside some bad apples
Right.
in the administration, right? So they were prepared for that. And then as Joe Biden was doing all his executive orders, there was no lawsuits. Like there was a stunning lack of lawsuits. And I can't believe that every parent who's lost a kid to an illegal immigrant, like drunk driver, or gets murdered by an illegal, or has a kid who accidentally ODs on fentanyl, where I would be suing the shit
Yes.
out of the federal government. There should be and so I'm asking this lawyer, I'm like, God bless you for fighting the vax mandate, and thank God you won. You must know your stuff, but like, where are the lawsuits? He goes, there's no money. And so lawyers are always about the money, so we're going to fight. And he's like, his big concern was that it will come down to violence.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't come to that, but they better make sure that Trump is fit, happy, and healthy.
Yep.
From now, they better stop with the frickin' the crazy ass lawsuits had the threat to democracy
Yeah.
that he is, who has a giant property in Florida that's only worth $18 million. That's the craziest lawsuit ever.
It is. It just...
No victim, no crime. That's terrifying.
Oh, and then you got the one in Georgia where
Fannie Willis.
Fannie Willis.
Fannie. Is it Fannie? Fannie? I pronounce
Fanny,
it. I
she's
pronounce
getting
it
her fanny spank. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's spelled Fanny, but it's pronounced
Well, you know-
hoe.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's crazy. And one point I have to stress is what I hear from some people. You got to vote. Some people are saying, no, my vote doesn't matter. Yes, there have been elections. You'll go back in history where one vote
Yes.
is what separated
Oh,
the
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
And so we have to get out there and vote.
We have to vote.
But we also have to laugh. So I have to plug this again. April
Ma-
23rd.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely, April 23rd. But so many people get so disheartened,
Yeah. It's
and
frustrating.
and it's very frustrating. But we have to keep carrying the torch. We have to get out and vote.
And it's not just the presidential election, it's your local elections, city council, township, school boards.
Yes.
Now we're not saying vote twice like the Democrats do, but we're
Exactly.
saying vote. Get
Yeah.
out and vote.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't wait till you're dead to vote. Go ahead.
Right? Don't be a Democrat. Vote
Don't
while
be-
you're alive.
Exactly. Well, Michael, thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's going to be a blast. I'll see everybody on the 23rd.
April 23rd, Villa Milano.
Skadoosh, which is
And-
Italian for well-hung man.
Your websites again.
What?
We got theloftusparty.com.
TheLoftusParty.com. That's all you need.
Okay, go there.
The Twitter is The Loftus Party. Instagram, The Loftus Party. TikTok, YouTube, all of the above. It's matchy-matchy. Oh, and people need to go to thatshowtonight.com.
Thatshowtonight.com.
Subscribe and support people who want to laugh at the idiots we all agree are idiots.
There you go.
Amen.
This has been Straight Shot Politics.